I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more times.
5 blokes outside my front door. Can you come and help
One
me?
hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're in Sheffield, head of the Matchroom DAZN show, live on DAZN. I already said DAZN twice. I'm joined by Frank Smith, CEO of Matchroom. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I haven't spoken to you in a while. I feel like, maybe you didn't love me anymore. But I'm back.
I literally saw you the other day at your birthday.
You did. You didn't come to the party.
I had to upload an interview in your Matchroom office, so thank you for that. And then I had to get home.
I only had about 8 surprise parties. It's finally just finishing, so I'm getting back into work now. I've had about 3 weeks of just parties, to be honest. So it's good to be back.
Okay, let's talk about the show this week. Huge opportunity for Dalton Smith and also Samo Mason. Sheffield derby, British title on the line. It's about time kind of Dalton started pushing some of this Sheffield support for him to headline.
Yeah, look, it's a great fight, and we've done great numbers on Saturday as well. Dalton's wanted to headline in Sheffield for a long time, and the opportunity came up to do it. And we're going to have just over 4,000 people in there at the weekend. So, you've got a great main event there, Dalton Smith, Samo Mason, an opportunity for both of them to win that vacant British title. You've got Sandy Ryan's rematch, and fair play to her, getting straight back in there off the back of that loss, to go straight back in and try and win that win the title and get back to where she was. So it's exciting to be back at Sheffield. We haven't been here for quite a while. Reminds me, it's probably like the early days of the likes of like Kelbrook, people like that. Dalton's 11-0. He's got some big opportunities ahead of him. And ultimately he wants to end up selling out Hillsborough. So it's a good start with, as I say, 4,000 people in there Saturday night.
War of the Roses, that was in Sheffield. Remember that one?
That actually had 9,000 people there. Matthew Hatton, that was a massive one. Matthew Hatton's here today actually with Campbell. But that was a big one. That was one of the early ones we did, wasn't it? With Kelbrook and Matthew Hatton, 9,000 people in there, big build-up. But I think we can get there with Dalton Smith. He's got all the attributes to be a big star in Sheffield. But first he's got to come through, Samo Mason's talented, experienced, and it's a good test for him after just 11 fights.
We'll look forward to it. Okay. When I spoke to, I think, Eddie this time last week on Wednesday, it is around 2 o'clock today. So just so people know the timestamp when this interview goes out. I asked him about the whole situation regarding Conor Benn and Chris Eubank. And he said that there was no delays. It's just for big fights. Talks, negotiations kind of sometimes go on a bit longer, etc. But they were still talking. It's been a week on now. We've heard nothing. Like I said, it's Wednesday today at 2 o'clock. Is there anything different you can tell us?
Maybe it changes at Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Like you say, like he says, big fights. They take a lot of work and a lot of effort to make mega fights, and this is a huge fight. This is a fight that people of all age groups will be following and will have an interest in. So it's just the way it goes. So let's see. That's definitely a fight we want to make. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in an hour. Let's see what happens in a week. Who knows?
Okay, from the outside perspective, it looks less optimistic as each day drags on. I know Eddie's saying and you're saying there isn't kind of a time period, it'll happen or get announced if it gets announced, etc. But is there an issue with kind of the general process of making this fight at the moment, which is holding anything up?
It's just like any fight. Fights take time to go through a lot of details, no specific issues in fights, but there's opportunities on the table for, especially for Conor Benn, who we represent as well, not just that fight we're talking about. So let's see. Anything can change in a couple of hours. Some fights can be made quite quickly, some take a bit longer. We've been involved in all different ones. So, I think hopefully we want to see that fight happen. Let's see how things play out.
Are you optimistic the fight happens though, or gets made?
I'm not a very optimistic person. No.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be a surprise. Maybe we'll walk out of here and it'll get made. I'm not really involved, to be honest. A bit too, family.
I was going to ask you, are you right in the middle of this now? Because obviously, Conor Benn, Matchroom, and you're close with Conor Benn, but then again, you're basically a Eubank, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, if it happens, I'll have to wear one of those half and half scarves, you know, like at the football, like Eubank, Benn here, and I'll turn up, I'll be in the front row like that, sort of be looking around. So, you know, I'm going to be, maybe I'll just won't come. I just won't be involved. I'll just take a bit of a holiday for this one. But yeah, look, close with Conor, obviously, Eubank family. So
you're just in the middle.
I'm always. You've seen me at every show though. I'm quite like I like events and shows and making things go smoothly. I'm not too, you know.
Because usually Eddie fanboys around one person, doesn't he? I mean, like when Canelo was fighting Bivol, you was on like almost like you was on Bivol's side and Eddie was on Canelo's side.
Well, yeah, like Team Bivol, I worked with Dimitri for a long time, so you know we had a good relationship. Made that fight with him, so. But with this one, it's a bit different. You know, I don't want to get beaten up by my missus, and I don't want to get beaten up by Conor Benn. So we'll have to see. Let's see if it happens, and if it does, it's going to be an interesting story, whichever way it goes.
Unbelievable. I don't want to get beaten up by my missus or Conor Benn. To be honest with you, if I had to fight one, I'd definitely fight Conor Benn. From your perspective, not me, I'm just saying from you.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't even like to think about it, either of them, to be honest. I mean, I know I'm a big bloke, overweight, but I think both of them could do some serious damage to me.
Emily would do you serious mental and physical damage.
Yeah, I'm not even going to think about it, mate. Well, let's not even talk about it. Let's not even speak it into existence.
Okay, right. Well, and then obviously in a couple of weeks' time, we have Saudi Arabia, the big one. Yeah, I mean, it's confirmed to being on Sky Sports pay-per-view. So that's kind of a bit of old news now, but that's the platform where it's landed on.
Yeah, Sky Sports box office, they obviously made a big push for it, you know, and that's the platform it's on in the UK and Ireland. I think they're working on the rest of the world currently, and the Skill Challenge will will release some more details on that in due course. You know, it's interesting to see what, you know, if Sky would have made the investment they've made in boxing now, you know, like they never would have done or pushed the way they did in previous times, in my opinion, like they've done now. But look, it's a big fight, and the first fight was obviously on Sky Sports box office as well. This one will be, and you know, Joshua's got to go out there and do the job. He's obviously got a new deal with DAZN for the UK and Ireland outside of this Saudi fight and buyout fight. So, you know, he's committed his future to DAZN beyond that. But you know, big fight, and let's focus on that in 2 weeks' time. He's got to get in there, get the win, get those belts back.
Okay, busy month coming up in boxing, and also obviously for Matchroom. Have you got anything else you'd like to add before we finish, young Frank?
Yeah,
still young Frank.
I'm old now, and I'm 30. It's not really like it's all sort of falling apart. You know, played tennis the other day, body's in bits, and I don't know where it goes from here. No, I think we didn't cover really much of the card, like I said about Sandy Ryan, but you obviously got Jordan Thompson is in a big step-up fight against Vasil Ducar, who we obviously saw went 10 rounds with Chris Billum-Smith, you know, not too long ago. So that's a good step-up fight for Jordan. He
fought Mike Perez a couple of fights ago as well.
Yeah, so it's a good step-up fight for Jordan. You know, Jordan, I think, has got a huge future ahead of him, and these are the type of the fights that he wants now, and we're only going to see, you know, steps forward from here. Johnny Fisher's back out, done just under 1,000 tickets, which is amazing again. You know, he's got a huge following. It's good to bring him. It's not quite Las Vegas, but it's Sheffield, so we're nearly there. You got Sandy Ryan, as we said earlier. You got Campbell Hatton's on the card. You know, good to see him back out. He's had a few fights without so much pressure on him. You know, because early in his career he had a lot of pressure, and it's good to. I think we're going to see more and more improvements with him. You know, Janae Boston's on there as well. You got Hopi Price is back out. You got so many guys on the card, so it's exciting fight night on Saturday. Looking forward to it, live on DAZN, and we're working on the schedule now for a big September, October, November, December. You know, lots to look forward to. So it's been a busy period getting everything together, but there's some exciting announcements in the pipeline.
We'll look forward to it. Frank Smith, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and we'll catch you at some point this week here in Sheffield.
Good to see you, Cougie Ben.
Nice one, Franco.
My dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more
There's
times.
5 blokes outside my front door. Can you come and help
One
me?
hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.